The Do Book Company presents Do Deal. Negotiate better, find hidden value, enrich relationships. By Richard Hoare and Andrew Gummer. Read by Richard Hoare. Prologue. I've been working as a music lawyer for about 20 years. Andrew's been doing the same job for even longer. Every day, we negotiate all sorts of deals with all sorts of wild and wonderful people, representing highly successful artists, record labels and businesses in sometimes extremely high-stakes negotiations. But my first experience of negotiation in the music industry wasn't a particularly impressive one. Putney Bridge, January 2000. It was the millennium, and the world hadn't ended due to a glitch in the Matrix, but rather depressingly, Irish boy band Westlife was still at number one, just as they had been in December 1999, with a grimly forgettable cover version of ABBA's I Have a Dream. I was doing a law degree at the time, and was looking for a work placement for the third sandwich year of the course. I had an interview lined up with the Director of Legal and Business Affairs at a major record label. The same label as Westlife were signed to, in fact. A very experienced and formidable lawyer called Clive Rich. I was 21 at the time, fresh from the rolling hills of Dartmoor where I grew up, via a sleepy seaside university town. This interview represented my first ever real-life negotiation in the cut-and-thrust music industry. So how did I do? Pretty badly, as it turns out. I did get the job, but when the question of salary came up, Clive proposed that I would be paid, wait for it, £6,000 for the year. Even in the year 2000, that was a pittance to live on in central London. How did I respond to this incredibly low opening offer? I simply accepted it. No questions asked, no negotiation at all, really. To be fair, Clive did go on to write the best-selling guide to negotiation, The Yes Book. So, I had a foot in the door, barely, but as far as first negotiation experiences are concerned, it was a disaster. On the train back to university that day, I felt it was a missed opportunity to prove my negotiation chops by haggling the salary up a little bit at least. I had lost this negotiation. Fast forward 20 years. A lot has happened. I made it through my year's work placement at the record label. One of the lawyers in the department introduced me to some people at the specialist music law firm where he had trained, called Clinton's, the oldest and best music law firm in London. I managed to get a training contract there after completing law school and spent the next 12 years working at Clinton's alongside some of the most skillful and accomplished lawyers and negotiators in the music business. I got to travel the world and was part of a team who had advised many of my musical heroes from the world of electronic and dance music, as they represented the likes of Daft Punk, Aphex Twin and Jamiroquai. After our sons were born, my wife and I decided to move back to the West Country to be closer to family. And in 2015, I started my own practice in Frome, Somerset, with a small roster of artists. By 2020, our firm has become more established and some of the clients are doing quite well. So I find myself at the boardroom table of another major record label for another negotiation. Only this time, the stakes are much higher. One of the artists we work with has spent most of the summer at number one in the charts with a huge hit single. To up the ante even more, it was also my youngest son's favourite song. The client's proposed record contract is in front of me, and there are some crucial issues that need to be negotiated. If we don't resolve them here and now, the artist's career could be over before it starts. It's now or never. Sat opposite are the heads of the label, plus their team of ferocious lawyers. How would I fare in this negotiation compared to the one 20 years ago? Well, this time things go far better, because in the time that has passed, I've learned the secret and mysterious art of negotiation. The opponents across the table, despite their combined years of experience and superior bargaining power, don't stand a chance. 30 minutes later, the deal is done. The client has the greatest record
Sample complete. Ready to continue?